Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Lambton College for this gold medal matchup at the 2025 OFSAA AAA Girls Basketball Championships here in beautiful Sarnia, Ontario. My name is Matt Rose. Joining me as always, Paul Whitson, former OFSAA gold medalist, Sarnia St. Patrick's alumni, and Lambton College men's basketball player. Paul, we have the 1 versus 2 seed here in the final. Your thoughts on this matchup before we tip off?
This is as good as it gets, Rosie. Biggest game of the year, right? Got to bring it all in this one. 1-2 seed next. Let's go.
All right, ball is tipped. Tip is won by St. Pat's, immediately stolen here by Maple Ridge, and a right-handed layup by Avery Miles. Maple Ridge comes out in a pressure situation. Ball's taken over the timeline into Taya Williamson. Ball's up, no good. To the disdain of the crowd, Mackenzie Cardis lays it back in off the offensive rebound.
Yep, good start for both teams here, Rosie. Gonna see if both teams can start relaying this pressure here.
Reese Burley, extremely effective and efficient guard for Maple Ridge. Begins with the ball. That's Cecily Ward-Roberts. Kick to the corner. That is Riley Tuddy. And that has been her spot. Oh, sorry. Correction there. That was Miles for three. St. Patrick comes up the floor. They look to set the offense. Williamson wide open. That's a layup. We are 5-4.
If you're Maple Ridge, that simply can't happen. Williamson is a go-to girl for the St. Pat's Fighting Irish, and she's going to be a problem all night if that's going to happen.
Yeah, Paul, Taya Williamson identified by Basketball Canada on their U17 watch list. And Williamson there collects the rebound, looks to push. These two teams, Paul, have met before. Excellent call there by the official. Williamson stepped on the midcourt line, bringing the ball into the backcourt. As I alluded to earlier there, these two teams have met twice before this season. Once in preseason action, both were won by the Ravens, the first matchup by 19. Mid-season tournament action, St. Patrick's conceded by 6. So we'll see if they can right the ship here this afternoon in the friendly confines of Sarnia, Ontario. Burley gets the three-point shot off. That won't go, and Zaprelis rebounds.
And there it is. Early pressure from Tonos has St. Pat's sped up. Again, you're going to see jitters on both sides of the basketball, both teams. So both teams got to do a good job here of just calming down and getting through these first few possessions.
But we've seen both of these teams in action so far throughout this weekend. Both enjoy pressure. Well officiated there. Burley took an extra step. But again, both of these teams, Paul, they do love to pressure defensively. As someone who's played in a system like that themselves, what are you looking for and what are you trying to do to an offense when you're playing this type of defense?
Well, you're trying to disrupt their flow of rhythm, right? Trying to speed them up and
disrupt passes. As we saw with that one there, pass goes into Cardis, who's blocked underneath. St. Patrick's maintains possession. 16 on the shot clock, 5:54 remaining here in the first quarter. Score is 5-4. Corner three there, no good. Ball bounces up. Williamson with the rebound, right-handed in.
Big rebound and put back for Williamson. She has the size. She's going to be a problem for Maple Ridge all day.
All right. Dribble drive by Burley, spins back left, kicks to the corner. No good, long on the rebound there. This is Zaprelis in the front court to Williamson, wide open again, back rim and out. That won't go for the Irish, but again, another forced turnover. Ball's on the ground, bodies are on the floor. Last touch there by Burley. That is going to be Irish ball.
This is high-level basketball, Rosie. This is offset. Everybody's on the ground. Who wants it more? Who wants that loose ball? Irish come up with it here.
Unbelievable, Paul, this atmosphere here at Cestar Athletics and Fitness Complex inside Lambton College. I mean, you could feel the electricity within your bones this afternoon.
Yeah, this is quite the atmosphere here. Let's see if St. Pat's can kind of calm down and break this press and slow it down.
Zaprelis now looks to reset. Ball goes off of Avery Fines and then redeflected by Kira Pappas of the Ravens. St. Patrick's ball in the front court, 14 on the shot clock. 6-5 Irish lead. Stukas drives right, goes back left, laid up, can't get it to go. Williamson collects. Ball will be on the end line as she's fouled after collecting the offensive board.
And there's Williamson again. If you're Maple Ridge, it's going to be a team-type box out because she is just a big presence in that paint.
Ball's into Fines. Fines moves. That is Stukas to the right. She can't get the layup to go, and Maple Ridge is out on the break. Burley collects. Excellent left-handed dribble, left-handed layup. And my goodness, Paul, we've talked about this all weekend long. Reese Burley, well-deserving of tournament all-star recognition.
That's just fantastic control to corral that ball and just get it to the rim.
We are going to have our first time out of the game. It is called by the Ravens. 18 on the shot clock. Ravens lead 7-6 headed into our first break. Paul, as a former OFSAA gold medalist yourself, you know what it takes and what needs to happen in order to win this type of game. Paul, what are the coaches talking to and telling their players in this sort of situation? Still early on here.
Well, I think it's calm down, right? I think the jitters are there. It's calm down. We know what we need to run. We've been running it all season, right? So let's run our sets, get into the groove of the game, and we'll be just fine. I think that's for both ends, right? You're seeing a lot of back and forth, not much of the half-court offense, right? Both teams are trying to really speed up each other, and I think as the game goes on, we're going to see both teams really settle in here and start to run their stuff.
We've talked about it at length so far this weekend. When it comes to games like this, evenly matched, the 1 seed in Maple Ridge, the 2 seed in Sarnia St. Patrick's, matching up here in a gold medal game, what it's going to come down to is turnovers and free throws. It's who makes the fewer mistakes, Paul. And that's what we're going to be looking for here. And both teams play an aggressive style of defense, which forces each other into those unforced turnovers.
Yeah, I agree, Rosie. It's about who's going to make the least amount of mistakes.
Ball's kicked out to Zaprelis now as the Irish set. Ivory finds jabs right, goes left, three-point jump shot, no good. Reese Burley collects the rebound, and the Ravens are out on the break. That ball's kicked to the corner. Three-point jump shot, no good. Cecily Ward-Robbins collects. That is kicked out now to Avery Miles, who hits another three.
That's a big-time three from Bishop Tonos. It appears they've started to settle into the game here a little bit. They're not afraid to shoot the threes. Sorry, Maple Ridge.
Ball's turned over there by Fines. Fines on the break. Maple Ridge on the break. Pushes, that's Riley Tuddy, who hits from beyond the arc. And my goodness, we saw yesterday in a quarterfinal, Riley Tuddy hit quite a few shots from distance.
Yeah, Riley Tuddy was massive yesterday for Maple Ridge, and as you can see, she's already made her mark on this game early. So the three-point shot's been big for Maple Ridge this whole tournament, and it's been big early.
Avery finds another three. Joanna Zaprelis picks up the offensive board. Ball's deflected out of bounds. Last touch by Kira Pappas. Substitutions checking into the game for the Irish. 12 on the shot clock. 3:23 on the game clock here in the first quarter. 13-3, the Ravens lead. And so far the difference, Paul, being outside shooting. The Ravens have taken advantage of their outside shooting opportunities, and St. Pat's has missed.
Yeah, Maple Ridge is not afraid to shoot the long ball, and they've shown that early. So we'll see if St. Pat's can start getting some hands up there on defense.
There's the aggressive three-quarter court trap St. Pat's is famous for. Turned Burley over, shot goes up. Williamson collects the O-board, deflected out of bounds. We'll have a fresh 14 and a St. Pat's possession.
And look at Taya Williamson in on that glass. She's unstoppable. She's going to be a problem all day for Bishop Tonos. They've done a good job so far, but she's in on every single offensive rebound there.
Paul, also just to highlight with Taya Williamson, only a grade 9. So many more years of basketball to go here in Sarnia and at St. Patrick's. Offensive rebound and lay-in by number 22, Kate Brown. Burley kicks. That is now Miles who kicks to the corner. There's Burley again with the shot up top. Williamson collects after the ball bounces and touches out of bounds.
Big stop there for St. Pat's. Hopefully they can put together a nice half-court possession here, get the ball moving, start running their stuff here, and get a good look.
Half-court offense is going to be a big part of this game. Execution. Flasher there by Stewart. She goes up with the right hand. Turnover there. It'll be Ravens ball coming in as we have a substitution checking in. Burley pressured on the inbound by Stukas.
Yeah, it appears St. Pat's is playing a little bit of man-to-man pressure, full court pressure, just trying to disrupt the Maple Ridge offense just a little bit here.
A little bit different than what we normally see from them as Stukas gets her hand in on the ball. Stukas now leads the charge up the other way. That's Ava Nienhuis drives left, pulls up into Williamson, who's triple team down low, absorbs the contact and will go to the line for two.
Good look from Nienhuis there, just to get it to the big down low to make that play.
Nienhuis can be an X factor in and of herself. We've seen her throughout the season and throughout the weekend knock down some very, very big shots, including one yesterday in the fourth quarter of the semifinal at Sarnia St. Patrick's. Williamson misses on the first. 13-8, Irish trail, 1:55 left here in the first quarter. Williamson good on the second.
Would really like to see St. Pat's get their guards a little bit more involved in the offense here. Williamson's been fantastic, but if we can get a little more from the guard play, I think St. Pat's is going to be just fine.
Drive in there to the right-hand side by Cecily. Sorry, that's 14, which is Ashlyn Macy. Ball deflected out of bounds. That'll be Maple Ridge ball under the hoop. Burley kicks and swings. Morgan Catling to Tuddy in the corner. Can't get it to go. Ball knocked around. That is Macy on the offensive glass with the putback. Nienhuis, dribble step, pulls out. That's Kate Brown. Entry pass is a poor one. That's deflected.
Yeah, that's a tough entry pass. You got to find a better angle to get it into to a post pass there. That's been an issue actually in the tournament as we've gone through there. Got to get a better angle.
Ball's deflected. Catling with the pass. Stukas all over. Herchek, Riley, Tuddy from Chef Curry range. No good. Stukas with the D-board. Stukas is stripped from behind by Burley. Out on the break there is Avery Miles. Can't get it to go.
If you're St. Pat's, you're lucky there. You need a safety back to make sure there's nobody behind you when you're coming up the court.
Drive right-handed, no good. Williamson with the board. She collects. Can't get it to go on the left side. That's Curtis with the O-board and the layup.
That's great hustle from Curtis to get that rebound and get it back up. Trying to make a play here for the St. Pat's Fighting Irish team.
Mackenzie Curtis, an all-around athlete here in the Sarnia-Lambton community. Also a travel volleyball player for the Twin Bridges Thunder. Misses on the first. 15-9 here, 39.1 seconds remain in the first quarter. Shot up, and it's good. Irish within 5, trying to cut this down to a one-possession game before the quarter, Paul.
There goes Burley again in transition. They got to find her in transition.
Yeah, you need a body on Burley in transition. Otherwise, those kinds of layups and takes to the basket are going to be hers all night. 17-10, ball's into Williamson in the post. Williamson kicks. Another entry pass over the head of Karen Stukas. That'll be Maple Ridge ball. One possession remains, 13.4 seconds on the clock.
Yep, and if you're St. Pat's there, you need some off-ball movement, right? Williamson catches that ball in the post. You need people moving around.
Corner three. my goodness, Riley Tuddy has executed from that left corner spot here all weekend. She's really found a groove at Lambton College. That might mean something for Lions women's basketball coach Janine Day. When a player takes to a spot on the floor like that, it might mean some recruiting letters in her mailbox.
Yeah, that's a big quarter from Maple Ridge. Shots were falling for them. If I'm St. Pat's, you know, you're playing well. Just got to get out to these shooters, right? And you're on offense, move that ball. I expect St. Pat's to get right back in this game in the second quarter as the jitters start to get out here.
We go to the quarter break, 20-10, the Maple Ridge Ravens lead over the St. Patrick's Fighting Irish, hosts of this OFSAA AAA Girls Basketball Championship. We, of course, are in the gold medal game, 1 and 2 seeds here, going at it for the gold medal and an opportunity to be etched in the history of Ontario girls basketball. The Irish there struggled in the first quarter, really trying to get their defense in check. 20 points in a first quarter is not ideal. Paul, defensively, what is it that the Irish need to do in order to gain hold and pull themselves back into this ball game?
Well, I think it's locating shooters in transition, right? Tuddy's hurt him for a couple big-time shots in that first quarter. If St. Pat's can get out there on the shooters, they're going to get right back in this game. Offensively as well, we need a little bit more from the guards, and I know we're going to get it from Avery Fines, Curtis, Stukas, these guards that have been so talented for them all season.
Excellent take to the basket there by Reese Burley, who has been an all-tournament type of performer. Burley is going to the line, shooting two. And really, Paul, it just seems like the Irish really haven't had an answer for the two-headed monster of Maple Ridge, which is Burley and Tuddy so far.
No, they really haven't. And the scary part is that Burley really hasn't got going yet, too. So if you're St. Pat's, you really got to watch Burley at all times as well as his shooting. So we're going to have to see a very big-time defensive effort here from St. Pat's moving forward.
St. Patrick's found themselves down yesterday late and deep in that semifinal game against Bishop Tonos. Found a way to pull themselves ahead as the game wore on, eventually leading to this opportunity here in the gold medal game. But a turnover there isn't going to help them in that regard. 22-10, 7:38 here to go in the second quarter as Cecily Ward-Roberts and the Maple Ridge Ravens look to set up the offense. There's Burley. Jab steps in the paint, kicks to the corner. Deep three, and oh my goodness, leave the form up, would you? That is Avery Miles, and that is her third make from deep so far this game, Paul.
Yeah, again, the three-pointers are really starting to kill the Irish here. Let's see if we can get some better ball movement, better entry into Williamson here.
Another turnover and an empty possession for St. Patrick's, and those numbers are just running up too high at this point in time. Tuddy with the pump fake drives left. That's Burley in her motion. Felt good about it. Kira Pappas on the O board. She travels, and we're going the other way. We have a timeout on the floor for the Irish. Well-used timeout there, Paul. Momentum seems like it's going in the favor right now of the Ravens. This gym that is packed, mainly St. Patrick's Fighting Irish fans. Home team, of course, here in Sarnia. That's never the thing that you want as the home team, is to have the gym silent. As you know, momentum's going in the other team's direction. Paul, what do the Irish need to do here in this timeout on this next possession?
Well, I think that's a good timeout there from St. Patrick's, but I think the big thing is here is keep the movement going, keep that ball moving, but we got to get better entry passes into Williamson, especially make sure she's set when she's catching that basketball. That's going to set up other offense for them, but you know the offense is going to run through her, so hopefully we can see that ball movement. A little less sloppy offense from St. Pat's, and they'll be fine. They'll get right back into this game.
Maple Ridge has done a fantastic job of double teaming. We've even seen a triple team on Williamson in the post here so far. At what point in time, Paul, offensively, do you go away from the strategy? Obviously, we know how valuable Williamson is to the outcome of St. Patrick's Fighting Irish games. But at what point do we need to look for another option if you're the Irish offense?
Again, and as I said before, too, I think it's really important that the Irish guards start to get involved here and start making plays.
Vines drives left for the Irish backdoor cut. That's deflected by Tuddy, and it's Irish ball. 13 on the shot clock. 6:48 on the game clock here in the first half. Stukas with the ball. Excellent right-handed floater in the lane. Can't get it to go. And another empty possession, and these are just starting to pile up, Paul. Burley collects up top, drives left, spins back right into the paint, finds Pappas. Pappas kicks. That's a three-ball short iron. Collected by the Irish, and we're going to have a foul going the other way.
Again, that's good ball movement, though, from Maple Ridge, right? Turning into a pretty good shot. So, again, that seems to be a theme so far for them. They've been able to move the ball really well from side to side, and they're getting good shots. So you hope to see St. Pat's kind of the other way, start to do the same thing.
Yeah, a lot of backdoor cuts here, Paul. Maybe some off-ball defenders falling asleep for the Irish. Fines with a travel, another turnover, another empty possession, 25-10, 6:05 left here in the second quarter. Ravens bring the ball over the timeline. That's Ward Robbins who hands the ball off to Burley. Burley who kicks. Now we're into the corner, deep three, back iron, and out Burley over the top. That's out of bounds.
Good box out, good defensive possession here for the Irish.
Excellent box out there, good defensive possession. But at this point in time, we need to start to see those good defensive possessions start leading to good offensive possessions, Paul.
Yes, exactly, right? But that also starts in transition. So St. Pat's need to start generating some turnovers so they can get some points, easier points in transition.
Kate Brown now kicks to Zaprelis in the corner. Brown gonna drive right. Hands the ball off. That's Stukas. Out to Brown. Sidesteps. Shot from the corner. No good.
Again, another tough shot there from St. Pat's, but you got to credit this Maple Ridge defense. They are in your face. They're aggressive. They're great. See ball, see man, right? They're great on the offside as well. So we'll see if they can keep that up too, as they have a good control in this game right now.
Yeah, defense leading to offensive momentum. Crossover there by Reese Burley. Ward Robbins kicks to the far corner. Ball's up top to Catling. That's Burley dribbles left. Long college level three. Williamson collects after being subbed in. Stukas, and let's see if the St. Patrick's offense can get a little motion and movement. A lot of standing on the outside. That's Brown, deep three, and Williamson's going to draw a foul. Paul, and that's one that's got to drive the coaching staff crazy. That far from your basket on your best player in the first half, not an ideal foul to take.
No, that's a real tough foul to take, right? Knowing that in this type of game, you cannot take cheap fouls, being as how valuable Williamson is for this team. So we'll keep an eye on that as the game moves forward.
Ward Robbins, now Catling up top. Catling kicks to the corner. Dribble in, that's Burley who kicks. That's Pappas on the right-hand side, can't get it to go. D-board collected, and Stukas is up the right side. Stukas turns, tries the entry pass to Williamson, ends up with Zaprelis, who also tries. And again, it just seems like Maple Ridge knows the game plan. Get the ball to Williamson, and they are getting there first.
Yeah, the game's getting a little sloppy here. We're going back and forth, so we'll see.
Entry pass into Williamson. She's contacted with the ball. Foul occurs on the floor, 15 on the shot clock, 4:06 on the game clock.
St. Pat's with the inbound on their own basket.
Irish ball. Stukas from three. That is off the backboard, and Burley's off to the races now. Burley, nice crow hop into the lane, left-handed, high off the glass, no good. Williamson collects and Stukas is out on the break. Entry, a little bit of a hold. Excellent call by the trail official here. That is team officiating at its finest, Paul. We have our lead official, whose area of coverage that was, blocked out by the hold, the wraparound on the backside. Trail official comes in, makes sure that they get that call and play officiated correctly.
Yep, and a better angle on that pass. Again, I still would like St. Pat's to slide a little bit more to the right and get a better angle for that entry pass flow, but that's a better pass.
McSweeney misses the jump shot there, ball loose. Terrence Stukas is on the deck. We have a little bit of a kerfluffle, we'll say, Mr. Whitson.
Yeah, a little bit of inadvertent contact. I don't think that was anything serious, and it was definitely not intentional. So we'll see what the referee wants to call here, but
fouls are 3-3 here. 3 minutes, 37 seconds left. 25-10. The Irish have been stymied in this quarter. Ravens to inbound. Ward Robbins kicks to the corner. That's Tutty now, who also kicks corner three. No good. Defensive rebound collected by Cardis, who's pushed. That'll be the fourth foul of the quarter, meaning the next one on the Ravens sends the Irish to the line.
Yeah, another foul here, but again, Maple Ridge has been real aggressive and the more physical team. And it's starting to wear down the Irish here, so we'll see if they can answer with a big possession here and get a big 2 points. Another tough take there from Fines.
Burley takes right, lays the ball up, no good. Williamson collects. Here's Avery, finds up the floor, deep, mid-range jump shot. Cardis attempts to save it. That attempt is in vain, and we have Ravens ball.
Again, it appears every shot that St. Pat's is getting has been a tough one. So you got to credit Maple Ridge here for their great defense. But if you're St. Pat's, you want to keep moving that ball, and eventually these shots are going to fall.
Yeah, Paul, the offensive output so far in this quarter is really going to hamper this Irish team if they're unable to get it going. That's Ava Nienhuis, normally a sharpshooter from beyond the arc. She can't get that attempt to go. Here we go, try again. Good! That's Nienhuis. Welcome to the game. And that shot goes in from bent path line.
And that's a big shot for the Irish. They really needed that. And that turns into a timeout there for the Ravens. Big time shot there for St. Pat's. We'll see if that can kind of get him going here and get him a little more offense and a little more flow to their game on both sides of the floor.
And Paul, in an environment like this, you can get the crowd behind you. We talked about that in our bronze medal matchup. The offense leading to defense and defense leading to offense. Momentum swings in your favor. St. Pat's, they've done a good job of weathering this storm that Maple Ridge and the Ravens have put forth here in the first 14, 15 minutes of the first half. Now it's their time to be able to strike. Can they take advantage of this momentum swing here? What do they need to do in order to get a stop on the defensive end, try to bring this back within striking distance before half?
Well, yeah, Rosie, it's a long game, right? We got a 12-point game here with 4 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Still lots of time. Defensively, right, get out on shooters. Always got to watch number 15, Burley. I think they've done a pretty good job of defensively on her at the last this quarter. So if they can keep that up, keep getting some stops, the shots will start to fall. So on the other side, though, Maple Ridge has done a great job offensively of moving the basketball, getting good shots, and they've been making a lot of three-pointers. So we'll see how that pans out for them.
2:42 here to go in the first half. Cecily Ward-Robbins, DHO to Reese Burley. A lot of steps there, Paul. St. Patrick's Fighting Irish fans in the building are collecting air miles on Reese Burley.
That's a fantastic defensive stop by St. Pat's. You had three girls right in the key there, ready to go, ready to make a play. Let's see if St. Pat's can answer here with a basket.
Irish in dire need of a basket here. 2:25 to go. Williamson on the outside. Dribble, drive, and kick. That's Avery finds up top. She kicks. Nienhuis dribbles. 6 on the shot clock. That is well beyond a college 3. Very tough shot by Stukas. Burley collects and kicks to the corner. Ball moved to Tutty up top for 3. And Riley Tutty knew as soon as that ball left her hand, that was nothing but nylon.
Time and time again, she's come up with a big shot. Here, we've got a turnover here in transition.
That is Ashlyn Macy who collects the turnover. Layup attempt. Ward Roberts with the O board. Drives and kicks. Corner 3, no good. Oh. And that is Irish ball. Irish cheering section down there in the east end of the gymnasium, I think, wanted a push call on Reese Burley.
Yeah, good call there by the official, because that was either over the back or it had to be St. Patrick's basketball.
Game management at its finest there from our excellent officiating crew in this gold medal matchup. Jump shot there by Taryn Stukas. Again, we want to take some time while we have it to thank our officiating crews. Ontario Basketball, Canada Basketball did an excellent job of sending representatives to this tournament, as we've seen so far. Long shot, no good. Tutty up top, that's no good. Long rebound to Zaprelis. Vines comes up the right side, she kicks. That's Nienhuis, thought better of the three-point shot. Vines collects, or recollects in the corner. Heady play there off the defender's foot and out. 8 seconds on the shot clock, 51.6 on the game clock. 28-13 Irish trail.
Really starting to see some frustration here from the Irish offense, and that's credit due to Maple Ridge's defense. They are in your face. They're causing St. Pat's to make a lot of mistakes here. So we'll see if St. Pat's can get a good shot here in the late shot clock.
Another errant entry pass into Williamson results in Irish basketball. 4 on the shot clock. Now we really got to run something tight here, Paul. What should we look for in a situation? 4 on the shot clock. Got to get something and something quick.
It's got to be a screen across of some sort to get Williamson open here to the basket, right, with only 4 seconds. And there it is.
Oh, my goodness. Ladies and gentlemen, Paul Whitson, a forecaster of sorts. This guy should be doing the weather. Taya Williamson to the line for 2. Substitution checking in for Maple Ridge. Williamson on the first. That is good. Paul, I'd say here 46.9 to go in the quarter. Irish with an opportunity to bring it in within 13. Ball goes, held possession. Arrows in favor of the Irish. They're going to get another crack at it. What's the ideal here, Paul, to get in before the quarter? Obviously, you're going to be stuck, but stuck by how many?
Well, here's the thing. If you're St. Pat's, if you can get it within 10 here, you're feeling good. 10 is a mental nightmare in the game of basketball. So that's a big-time jump ball there. You got the ball back here. Get a basket, get a stop, and you're right back in this basketball game. So we'll see if St. Pat's can execute.
Awesome look there. Secondary option off that same play they ran on the last one. Ball went out to Stukas. She thought better of the 3, and the left-handed floater in the lane did not go.
St. Pat's has definitely picked up the physicality, which is helping them right here. I really like that. They're starting to match the physicality that Maple Ridge has had this whole game, so that should help them moving forward if they can keep that up.
That's a reputation that St. Pat's has and has held in the Ontario basketball community for a long time. Physicality is the nature of their game and a high-pressure offense. Ball is held. It's going to remain. It is going to be Irish possession. We had a couple held balls down on the other end there. That is correct. No time left on the shot clock. 21.4 on the game clock. Potential for one possession. Paul, what's your call here?
Got to use that clock. This needs to be the last shot of this quarter. If you're getting down to 5 or 6, that's the ideal time for a shot.
Avery finds for 3. That is no good. Long out the side.
And that's a little not ideal here for St. Pat's there, right? Giving another possession to Maple Ridge, but hopefully they can get a stop here and feel at least good about the last few minutes of this second quarter.
Absolutely. Very tough shot, very early. Ward Robbins, she's from deep with a heave. That is no good. We head to halftime. Irish down to the visiting Maple Ridge Ravens, 28-14 here at the 2025 OFSAA AAA Girls Basketball Championships, hosted in beautiful Sarnia, Ontario, here at Lambton College in the Cestar Athletics and Fitness Complex. Thank you for joining us. Commentary will be back in 7 minutes after half. See you then. And we're back for the second half here, 2025 OFSAA AAA Girls Basketball Championships gold medal game here between the Maple Ridge Ravens, the 1 seed, and the number 2 seed, the Sarnia St. Patrick's Fighting Irish. Ravens headed into the break 28-14 with the lead. Irish look to bounce back here in the second half. Paul, what's on the docket? What did the coaching staff discuss in order to try to find a way back into this game?
Well, if you're St. Pat's, right, it's got to be better entries into Williamson, and it's got to be other girls also getting involved on offense, right? Keep moving that ball. Defensively, they really picked it up there in that the end of that second quarter. It looked really good for them. Got to keep doing a great job here. There's a nice defensive stop there on Burley. So we'll see how St. Pat's can fare out early in the third quarter. The start of the third quarter is the most important start of the time of the game, right? How do you come out?
Real difference so far offensively has been the three-point shooting from Maple Ridge. Tuddy, Miles, both connecting on multiple shots from deep. And St. Pat's really had no answer in the first half. Irish kick, that's Stukas now drives left. Stukas left-handed finish in the lane. My goodness, Taryn Stukas. And Taryn comes from a basketball family. Her sister, of course, playing for the University of Windsor Lancers. And Riley Tuddy, that left corner three. Paul, we have seen it all weekend. She loves that spot.
Another big-time answer from Tonos. Just as St. Pat's comes off to a great start in this third quarter. Maple Ridge, they answer.
Ball's turned over, another errant entry pass into Williamson. Burley kicks. That's Ward Robbins up top, dribbles right. Kick now to the corner. That's Avery Miles who throws the ball cross court out of bounds. Irish ball.
And a nice stop there for St. Pat's. Let's see another nice half-court set here, ball moving, and get a good shot.
They really need a couple of good offensive possessions mixed in with one or two defensive. Get this crowd back into it, feed off that energy, be able to put the pressure on the Ravens, on that 1 seed, as they give themselves an opportunity to get back into the game. That crowd is going to be an advantage for the Irish if they can get them going again. Shot clock violation. We continue to see Taya Williamson be tied up there underneath the basket. Fortunately, no longer on the floor, and the Irish can't get anything going on the perimeter.
Great hustle there from Stukas. Couldn't get the ball back here for St. Pat's.
Irish ball in the front court, 14 on the shot clock, 6:19 on the game clock, 31-16 here. Third quarter, Cestar Athletic and Fitness Complex inside Lambton College. Ball is kicked to the corner. That's Zapralis. Kate Brown with the shot. That is long and misses. And Reese Burley now settles the Ravens down as she pushes the ball up the floor. No, that much to the distaste, that was actually very well officiated as she lost control of the ball. Ball is kicked again. Wing three, no good, off the front rim. And now the Irish are getting beat just purely on hustle plays, Paul.
They're scrambling here on defense. Got to find somebody and box out and get this basketball.
Curtis, a good job getting a hand on the pass there, but found herself in no man's land. Didn't give the offensive player any area to land. Substitution checking in. Williamson back into the game. Replaces McSweeney.
Big defensive possession here for the Irish, right? Need to get a stop here within 15. Don't want to make it anything more than that because then you're creeping up on 20. So we'll see how they respond.
20 and not a lot of time left. Oh, off arm there from Burley got into the face of Kate Brown. And there's a turnover. And again, you can feel every time something goes in the direction of St. Patrick's, this crowd gets into it. They are ready to go and ready to support this team. They just need the Irish to give them a little something to cheer about.
Yeah, I'm loving the Irish defensive intensity right now. They've really picked it up. Just need something offensively to get going here.
Curtis can't get that to go. Burley collects the D-board. She's back up the floor now. Oh, crossover on Zapralis. That's Tuddy, who's been electric from beyond the arc so far tonight. Burley drives right-handed. My goodness, Reese Burley continues to execute at a high level. Paul, Reese Burley appears, to anybody that's watched any of the Maple Ridge games so far in this tournament, that she is destined to play at the next level.
Yeah, she is a high-level player. She's all over the court. She's got it on both ends, right? It feels like any loose ball, she's the one that's getting to it, and she's either taking it to the net or she's causing a turn, defensive stop. So she's been huge for them. We're looking at a 17-point lead now for Maple Ridge. So they're looking to kind of put this maybe even, would I say, out of reach. St. Pat's needs to respond soon. If not, Maple Ridge is looking real good here as we enter like the halfway point of the third quarter.
You can only have so many empty offensive possessions, right, Paul? We've seen a lot of that in the second quarter. We've seen a few of them here in the early third. Eventually, this offense has to come alive if the Irish want to give themselves an opportunity to hoist a gold medal today.
Yep, and it's now or never, Rosie. Now that we got Williamson back in the game, we'll see if we can get her involved and she can start getting some big baskets here for St. Pat's, because we know the offense is going to run through her. So stay tuned. We got a great OFSAA final here at Sarnia Lambton College.
Stukas brings the ball up for the Irish. Absolutely needs some offensive execution here. Ava Nienhuis kicks to the corner to Avery, finds, jab steps, goes left, kicks to Cardis. Cardis has the ball. She kicks to Nienhuis, and hot potato back there between the St. Patrick's guards. Layup, foul in transition. That'll be on Fines. Burley's going to shoot two. Correction, sorry. That is Tuddy that is going to be shooting two.
Yeah, another tough possession there from St. Pat's, and you got to credit the Maple Ridge defense because they were not giving up anything on that possession, right in the faces of the St. Patrick's girls here.
Yeah, Paul, there's just nothing easy happening at that end of the floor. As you said, we do have to give credit to this Maple Ridge defense. They've come out with this strategy, and they've executed. They've forced St. Pat's out of the paint. They've forced them not to turn the ball, they've forced St. Patrick's out of that three-quarter court trap, which is one of their famous defensive strategies that leads to offense. Can't get it to go, but there's Taya Williamson, right when you need her, lays the ball up, hooping the harm. Opportunity for the traditional three-point play.
And that's a great setup by number 20, Avery Fines there. Finding her big and down low for the big and one. We'll see if that'll get the St. Pat's offense going. Something needs to click here to get back in this game.
Williamson from the line. Opportunity to cut into this lead, 34-18 in favor of the Ravens. Now 19 with 4:11 remaining here in the third quarter. As you said, Paul, now or never. And there's Riley Tuddy on the back iron three-point shot. Offensive rebound collected by Burley. Ball's held in the paint. Arrow is in favor of the Ravens. They will keep possession, 12 on the shot clock underneath.
Good fight here from the St. Pat's Irish, but if you're St. Pat's, you can't look to have Williamson get every single rebound, right? It's got to be a team rebounding type game right now. So hopefully we can get somebody else here getting some rebounds.
Burley turns the ball over. That's stripped by Stukas. Stukas up the floor to the right-hand side. She kicks into Williamson. That's a hold. Ball goes up. She can't get it to go.
And there's a great entry pass we've been looking for all night. Great angle, right on the money there for an excellent opportunity here for 2 points.
Yeah, Paul, you've talked about it all 2.5 quarters so far. The spacing for the Irish is really what creates that opportunity for Williamson.
Yeah, exactly, Rosie. Right? Need better angles, need better passes, but it looks like St. Pat's is really starting to get her involved here. And we're going to see how this is going to play out here in the next few minutes.
You can feel the energy in this crowd starting to creep up as the Irish begin to creep closer on the scoreboard. 34-20, 3:37 left. Irish in desperate need of a stop here. Ward Robbins dribbles right with Kate Brown on her. Ball is up. Tuddy. Force Ward Robbins hucks one up with 2 on the clock. And off the backboard and in. Mr. Whitson. It is the afternoon on a Saturday, but that bank, sir, was wide open.
And that's a heartbreaker for St. Pat's. They couldn't have played that defensive possession any better on and off ball. So we'll see, though. They're in this game. They're going to keep battling back. That's a tough turnover.
Another poor entry pass into Williamson. Simply the Ravens are just fronting that pass and getting hands on the ball. Irish are unable to come up with it, and that is another 3 from Avery Miles. And oh my goodness, Paul, you look up at the scoreboard, and the Irish find themselves down 20.
Yeah, that's a big-time shot. It's a mental thing, right? The big 2-0. St. Pat's needs to answer here and answer quick. There's still lots of time, but got to put together some good possessions here.
Entry into Williamson. Shot goes up, ball's deflected. Excellent defense. Irish will retain possession, 6 on the shot clock. Boy, oh boy, does St. Pat's need a bucket in a very bad way, Mr. Whitson.
No, and they need to see the clock here. We need to see somebody, the bench or the Irish faithful, get loud and let these girls know how much time is on that clock.
Williamson cuts across the key, lays it up. Contact on the way up. She's going to shoot 2.
Excellent take.
Paul, 2:20 remaining here in the third quarter. Irish stuck 20. What's the magic number that they need to get to in order to feel good about themselves headed into the fourth?
I would say about 15 points or so would be nice, manageable. Again, it's still, we got lots of time with the shot clock, right? I think that you'd feel good about 15, right? Because as soon as you creep into that 10-point area, right, that's when doubt starts to creep in for the team that's leading. So we'll see if St. Pat's can get a little closer here to end the third.
Yeah, as you said, Paul, if you can get this lead down to 10, the Ravens will begin to question themselves, especially with this crowd behind her. And unfortunately, this crowd doesn't like it, but that is an excellent call on the block. 4 fouls now on the Irish. Next one shooting for the Ravens.
Yeah, that's a great call by the official. Just a little bit too much contact there. A little too close was the defender there for St. Pat's. So you got to respect the physicality there, but that's the right call.
Brown checks out, Curtis checks in. Miles into Burley. Burley kicks to the corner. That's Riley Tuddy up top. My goodness, somebody get a hand in her face when she shoots. Otherwise, you're in trouble. Avery finds on the break. She goes up, can't connect on the layup on the left-hand side, and now we are back the other way. Burley, baseline, a lot of contact, crosses over on Fines, right around her. My goodness, 3-point jump shot. That is Ashlyn Macy.
That's a fantastic dish from Burley there. Had 3 defenders on her, kept the head up and found the open girl there. Big-time bucket.
Yeah, big-time bucket as Ravens continue to extend the lead, and another poor entry pass by the Irish. We have another timeout called here. That leaves the Irish with only 1 remaining for the rest of the half. Paul, it is a 22-point deficit that these Irish face still here in the third quarter. What does the coaching staff, Maggie and Kelsey, have to say in this timeout right now?
Well, you can tell frustration is really starting to set in here for St. Pat's. I think they need to settle down a little bit, start running their stuff, right? Can't be forcing these deep passes, keep moving the ball. Can't look at the scoreboard, right, at this point. Just got to chip away 1 possession at a time, right? Defensively, I still like what they're doing. It's just those defensive stops need to lead to offensive points. So we'll see how this end of this third quarter will pan out, and hopefully St. Pat's can kind of make some ground here on the Maple Ridge team here.
Yeah, it's been a fantastic offensive third quarter for the Maple Ridge Ravens. Combined in the last two quarters, I believe the Irish have been held to 11 total points. I can't say enough about the defensive effort of this Maple Ridge team, forcing the number 2 seed in this tournament, second-ranked team in AAA girls basketball in the province, to 21 total points with a minute 22 to go here in the third. Burley up top, she dribbles, kicks to Tuddy. Tuddy now swings, that's Miles. Miles into the paint, into a lot of contact, blocked by Williamson and collected. Irish the other way, a little bit of contact there. Nothing. Zapralis moves the ball, 15 on the shot clock. Irish looks stagnant, 4 bodies on the outside, only Williamson active in the middle. And a very, very deep 3 is shot, and that is McSweeney, who's good from very long range.
That's a big-time shot, but I mean, you need some more movement from the Irish there. That's kind of been the story of today's game. You will take that bucket, though. Let's see if the Irish can put together another big stop on defense.
Burley kicks far corner. That is Miles, who's been all over it all game from that spot. She gets another try. Can't get it to go. That's Williamson who comes up with the ball. Now trying to lead the fast break. My goodness. Held ball, arrow in favor of the Irish. Perhaps a little bit of nerves, a little bit of just excitement, I guess, there by Taya Williamson trying to push the ball up the floor.
Well, I think obviously you'll take the possession, they got lucky there, but if you're a St. Pat's guard, you got to be screaming outlet or calling for that ball, right? And letting her know where you are to get that ball to a guard.
10.3 to go here in the third quarter, 43-24. Ava Nienhuis for 3, can't get it to go. Nienhuis, the entry pass to Williamson, gets the ball up, that won't go. And the Irish will head in to the fourth quarter, the final quarter of OFSAA 2025 Girls AAA Championship Basketball. We have witnessed 30 games take place over the last 3 days, including today. We have we're 3 quarters of the way through this final 31st game. Irish trail 43-24.
Yeah, the story of today's game has been Maple Ridge, offensively and defensively. They've executed everything they've wanted to do. They've looked great. If you're St. Pat's, you want to come out here, put together a couple possessions, get back in this game. It's not over yet. You can't look at that scoreboard, right? But it's got to be the first few minutes. If you're Maple Ridge, you're looking for the kill shot here. These first few 2-3 minutes, if you can execute your stop, you're feeling good about your game. So, in for a big fourth quarter.
Yeah, while we have a second here before we get back to action, just want to thank Lambton College and their athletic staff and team for assisting and running this tournament. Huge shout out to Mason Hyde, one of the athletic staff here, who's done an excellent job coordinating this event, an assistant with Sarnia St. Patrick's. Mason's done an excellent job organizing this tournament all weekend, assisted by Eric Steves and the remainder of the game day staff here. Excellent work, excellent job as Reese Burley collects the ball, knowing she is 1 quarter away from a consecutive OFSAA gold medal. Burley drives right, crosses back left, uses a high screen by Pappas. Williamson rejects it. She's now on the break. She goes up, can't get it to go, and we finally got something for this crowd of 800 plus to cheer about.
Yeah, that's a big-time play there for Williamson. And being only a grade 9, right, that the future is bright for her. So we'll see if she can kind of will this team back in it. That's a big-time play.
Williamson misses on the first. Reese Burley fixes our mesh for shooter Taya Williamson. Gets the second. Crowd starting to creep back into this game, but boy, does St. Pat's need stops, and they need stops quick, Paul.
Yeah, they certainly do. Good on-ball pressure here from St. Pat's.
Burley uses the high screen from Pappas. Can't get anywhere. The defense of Terrence Stukas bested her that time. Drive baseline and kick back out. Catling to Burley. Hot potato. And it ends up as a St. Pat's ball. Shot clock violation.
That's a big-time stop for St. Pat's. Terrence Stukas has done a great job on number 15, Burley. She's done the best that she could, so that's a big-time stop. And we'll see if St. Pat's can answer.
Max Sweeney with the ball on the high wing. Entry pass into Williamson, deflected once, ball goes up, little bit of contact, Williamson fights through, and we can feel the energy in the building start to rise. Turnover again, that is Kate Brown to Stukas, Stukas left-handed and up, and oh my goodness, the lid's gonna blow off this place.
Here come the St. Patrick's Fighting Irish, full court press on as we see it.
43-29, 6:34 to go. Crowd begins to come alive here at the Cestar Athletics and Fitness Complex. Taya Williamson collects on another empty possession for Maple Ridge. And boy, oh boy, Paul, do those hands start to get a little bit more sweaty if you're a Ravens player.
Yeah, that's true. Here we go. St. Pat's now trying to create another turnover, and they do.
Look to see if we have a potential timeout. Coach's disagreements with our officials' call in favor of the Irish. Substitutions on the floor.
Yeah, kind of surprised here that Maple Ridge hasn't taken a timeout here to kind of stop the bleeding at this point in the game, right? So we'll see. It might take maybe one more basket here from St. Pat's for Maple Ridge to call that timeout.
Absolutely, Paul. Yeah, it would have been a good opportunity there. You don't want to allow the crowd to get back into this game. Williamson is blocked by Burley. Ball enters into a crowd. We got bodies on the floor. Arrow in favor of the Irish.
Yeah, the physicality and the heart of the Irish are keeping them in this game. That's a big-time play.
6 minutes remain. 14 points separate the 1 seed from the 2 seed. Here, the 2025 OFSAA AAA girls basketball gold medal game. St. Patrick's with an opportunity to cut into that lead, continue this pressure. Drive left by Stukas, ball's up in the air, no good. Williamson attempts, and the ball's going to remain for the Irish. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Irish to inbound. That's Zapralis. She kicks Brown now to Stukas. Stukas drives right. Loses control. Left-handed push shot. My goodness. Taryn Stukas has said her tournament is not done yet.
That's a big-time basket from Stukas. To see that shot clock and to know to get that ball up is a very high IQ play. So big bucket here. 12-point game.
And oh my goodness, Paul, we've said if you're the coaching staff for the Ravens, you cannot allow this crowd to get back into the game. We know what that kind of pressure can do to athletes of any level, let alone at the high school level. Paul, if you're in that huddle right now for the Maple Ridge Ravens, what are you explaining or getting across to your team?
Well, I think it's, hey, we've done a great job of executing our game plan this entire game. Keep doing what we're doing. Calm down a little bit, right? Trust our veterans. If I'm St. Pat's, I'm feeling good about this because like we talked about earlier, that big bad number 10, it starts to creep in, right? And that's a mental thing. So if St. Pat's can get another stop and get this to 10 or under 10, we might have quite the finish here at Lambton College.
A lot of time remaining on the clock. St. Pat's with that pressure defense, they can put up points and they can put up points quickly off of turnovers if you open that window. Maple Ridge now needs to show that prowess not only of the number 1 seed, but also of a defending champion who has been here before. Can they go punch for punch with the Irish? 5:46 to go here.
And here comes the St. Pat's faithful starting to get loud here.
Cecily Ward-Robbins picks the ball up, gets over the timeline, drives right, kicks. That's a deep three. And oh my goodness, Paul, we've talked all weekend about execution out of timeouts. You couldn't ask for better.
That's great execution out of the timeout and a heartbreaker for St. Pat's, but a big-time shot for Maple Ridge.
St. Pat's needs an answer. That's jump shot is no good. Williamson can't collect the rebound. Held ball, arrow's going to be in favor of the Ravens.
Again, that's been a common theme all weekend as well for Maple Ridge. Calling timeouts and executing outside their timeouts and really doing what they want to do from what they talked about in the huddle. So that's been real key for them.
A sign of an experienced team, Paul, a team that's been here before, won an OFSAA gold medal last year, looking to do it again. Cecily Ward-Robbins can't handle the ball. Tegan Stukas tries to find Williamson in the lane. That's deflected, and now Reese Burley the other way. And it just seems like every time St. Pat's gets a little bit going for them, the Ravens have some sort of answer.
Yeah, I mean, defensively they've done a great job. And they've really disrupted St. Pat's this entire game.
St. Pat's with another attempt, but the time continues to tick down. They need 15 points, and they need it quick. 4:30 to go here in the fourth quarter of this gold medal game. 1 and 2 seeds. Irish down to the Ravens. College 3, no good. And we will see 2 substitutions on the floor. Avery Fines and Ava Nienhuis check back into the game. Ravens to inbound, that's Burley. Burley fights through a little bit of contact in the front court. They break the press, that's Tutty in the corner. Williamson a hand on it, deflects it away from her teammate. However, Kate Brown draws the contact. We're gonna have Irish ball. Active hands defensively by the Irish, leading to the turnover. Ava Nienhuis going to inbound.
Big possession here for the Irish. Definitely need a basket.
4:05 to go here in the fourth quarter. Gold medal game 2025 OFSAA AAA championships. 1 versus 2. The 2 seed, the host. Taryn Stukas, my goodness, that's from Maddie Bishop territory. That doesn't go. Ball's kicked to the corner, no good. Williamson comes up with the rebound, but St. Pat's needs baskets and they need them quick. Entry pass in, another one deflected, and another pass ball. It just seems like the Irish can't get those into the paint and give their players an opportunity to catch, collect, and go up.
Well, that's a communication error, though, too, right? You got 2 girls both going the ball. Somebody's got to talk and say, hey, I'm coming to the ball.
Williamson turns, excellent call by the official underneath. Contact on the arm, she'll go to the line for 2. But Paul, at this point in time, stuck 15, 3 minutes 31 to go. Is it 2, but too little, too late?
It's gut check time for the Irish. You need to put together a bunch of stops and put some points up on the board here, but we are getting to that territory.
Back iron and out. Williamson on the second. That is good.
Got to see some full court pressure here from St. Pat's.
And the press is broken almost immediately. And I don't think St. Pat's has seen an opponent be able to do that to them all year. It just seems like they had that run, 3-4 minutes. Ravens were able to call a timeout, make an adjustment, and the pressure from St. Pat's is just not impacting the Ravens like it has done to any other opponent they've played this season.
Yeah, Maple Ridge has done a great job with the basketball on both ends. Defensively, they've met St. Pat's at pretty much every point. Offensively, they've been able to execute their stuff. It's been a really good game for them and very impressive, to be quite honest.
Fines on Ward-Robbins. Ball is kicked up top. That's Tutty. That's Burley from deep. Offensive rebound by Pappas. She can't get it to go. Here's Avery Fines now for the Irish. Crossover. Spins into the lane, left hand, no good. Fight for the rebound, layup, no good. Another fight, Kate Brown comes up with it. Ava Nienhuis, my goodness, from deep. But that is what she does best. Ava Nienhuis hits that baby from Warwick.
And that's a big shot here. We're within 11 with 2:46 to go. Still striking distance, but you need to stop here if you're St. Pat's.
11 points separate, 2 minutes, 46 seconds to go. This crowd has come alive. One stop and they can get it to single digits, Mr. Whitson.
Yeah, we'll see what St. Pat's has right here, right? This is a season on the line, so can they dig in and get a couple stops?
Nothing left to save it for. This is the ultimate end of the game scenario. It's what anybody as a youngster dreams about when you take up playing basketball. Reese Burley, long three, and the Irish get their stop. Opportunity for single digits. Entry pass into Williamson. No contact there as Burley gets the ball. And a traveling violation is called. We have a timeout on the floor by Maple Ridge. Irish, timeout on the floor by Sarnia St. Pat's. Paul, we have an 11-point game. We're just shy of 2 minutes left to go here in the fourth quarter. Again, no bigger moment, nothing left to save it for. What do you draw up in this huddle if you're the Irish coaching staff?
Well, it's got to be something quick. I think you got to get that ball into Williamson. Hopefully she can turn and go or look for a shooter, right? Because at this point, a three-pointer might be better than a two. But I think you run something through Williamson, get some movement, and it's got to be quick.
Yeah, everything's got to be quick when you're down 11, under 2 to go. Benefit is clock stops on a made basket under 2 minutes in FIBA basketball. That is what we are playing here currently in Canada. FIBA basketball, the most superior version of the game, we believe. Again, another thank you to Sarnia St. Patrick's and all their staff and volunteers. If you're looking around as the camera pans out, bright green shirts, those are our volunteers, collected both from Lambton College and Sarnia St. Pat's. They've done a fantastic job all weekend. Been amazing hosts, sponsors, media rooms, everything. Been a wonderful experience. 2:09 to go. Taryn Stukas for three. That is back iron and out. And boy, oh boy, the lid would have come off this place had that gone in, Paul.
Yep, and we're getting a lot of physicality here from St. Pat's. So they're getting a little frustrated, but I mean, at this point in the game, right, going to try and create a turnover.
Well, yeah, at this point in the game, too, Paul, I believe you got to get some fouls up on that board. They only had one with less than 2 to go. That's the second of the quarter. It might be a point in time here shortly where you have to just send them to the line and hope to play the free throw game. Tutty floats down low, no good. Fines comes up with the rebound. Fines drives left. Under control, the Irish need to be here. Kate Brown. Back to Fines. Fines up top. Irish wasting a lot of time here. Ball's driven by Fines. Shot goes up, no good. Zaprelis had a hand on it but couldn't corral. And now that's Tutty. Comes up with a huge defensive board for the Ravens.
Yeah, that's too much time on the clock for St. Pat's. You got to know what the score is and how much time's left. And a massive, big-time shot from Reese Burley. And she's been doing that the entire tournament. What a shot.
Substitution on the floor. I don't believe this is going to be a timeout. No timeouts remain for the Irish, so it's just the substitution on the made basket. And Reese Burley, time and time again throughout this tournament, she has been an absolute pleasure to watch. We wish her all the best, as she continues to progress in her basketball career. Look forward to hearing what the next steps are for her. Ball's deflected out of bounds, and at this point in time, Paul, minute 08 remaining, 49-35. It would take some sort of miracle for the Irish to be able to come back into this game. What are your thoughts?
Well, this point, right, we got a 14-point game. It's got to be a quick shot here from the Irish. So we'll see how this plays out.
Ava Nienhuis sets up on the outside, the best three-point shooter for the Irish. Ball's into Williamson. Up fake, up and under, no good. And that all but does it, Paul. As unfortunately, the Irish won't be smiling today here in Sarnia, as it appears the Maple Ridge Ravens will repeat as back-to-back OFSAA gold medalists. Nothing to be said, though. Wonderful season for this St. Pat's Fighting Irish program to finish with a silver medal, second best team in all of Ontario at this level, is a wonderful thing to be able to do. Long shot rebounded by Williamson. 40 seconds on the game clock. Williamson keeps the ball in play. Burley now on the outlet. And Maple Ridge is not afraid of trying to pour it on. Blocked by Williamson. Irish come up the floor. Ball kicked to Nienhuis, their best shooter. She can't get it to go. Contact on the ground, 17.2 left to go. Paul, 17.2 left to go. It's been a pleasure calling games with you throughout this weekend. Wonderful experience. We'd like to thank OFSAA, Lambton College, the athletic department, Mason High, James Grant, for this wonderful opportunity to be able to call these games here. Fantastic basketball. The skill level's been exceptional. Can't say enough about the progress of the game of basketball in our great province here in Ontario.
Yeah, this has been a fantastic weekend. A lot of good teams. And shout out to the St. Patrick's Fighting Irish. They fought hard tonight. They had a lot of heart, but unfortunately, Maple Ridge just executed on both ends of the floor. So, and also thanks again, Rosie, for having me along here. It's been a pleasure, great weekend. So,
a wonderful partner, wonderful time we've had calling these games. Great basketball. It's been a pleasure. Nothing but Lambton College, Sarnia St. Pat's, excellent hosts, and the beautiful city of Sarnia welcoming in all 16 of these teams. 15, I guess, outside of Sarnia St. Pat's, welcoming in all 15 visiting teams, being able to provide a tournament and the support from our community, our sponsors, to be able to host an event of this caliber. All we've heard, talking to parents, friends, families, coaches, is how fantastic the experience has been all weekend. So kudos to our sponsors, the city, organizing teams at both Lambton College and St. Pat's. Stukas drives left, can't get it to go. Foul's on the floor. Foul is on the shot. Stukas will be shooting too. As we said, Taryn Stukas comes from a basketball family. Sister playing currently at the University of Windsor, making a difference at the OUA level. I believe Taryn hopes to do that in the near future as well. Capitalizes on the second.
good fight here from the Irish to end this game. You love to see that, right? Playing to the last whistle.
Absolutely. There's some girls on the floor that potentially is their last ever high school basketball game, could be their last ever competitive basketball game. Leave it all out on the floor. You have nothing to save it for. Eventually you're old like us, Paul, and playing in an old church gym on Wednesday nights.
Yep. Getting schooled by Keaton Finch every Wednesday night.
7.9 to go. 49-37. Ravens lead, Irish trail. This should just be a dribble out. And that will be that. It is official. The Maple Ridge Ravens repeat as OFSAA gold medalists. Clean sweep the St. Pat's Fighting Irish. 3 wins this year, the biggest being saved for the second last weekend in November at the OFSAA gold medal AAA Girls Basketball Championship. Congratulations to both teams. The Ravens and the Irish both played excellent tournaments. As always, with my colleague Paul Whitson, OFSAA gold medalist, Sarnia St. Pat's and Lambton men's basketball alumnus, as well as myself, thank you for joining. Thank you for listening all weekend. It's been a pleasure. Signing off from Lambton College in the Cestar Athletics Complex. Have a great afternoon. Good night.